Three factors that you need to have a vision, you need to know where you're going, and you need to chart a path. What are the things that you need to do? And then it's the how to get there. But it requires not just vision and beautiful mission statements and so on. You need the capability that as well goes with it. And you need to keep everybody motivated and working towards a common goal.
I'll just touch on two things. Number one is what I mentioned was his relentless drive to never give up. So it's not how many times you fall down, but it's how you get up. Really the glue that kept it together were his value-based leadership. So always putting family first. That's how you withstand the test of time.
Well, I mean, when the opportunity came up, when the existing or the previous managing director decided to resign, we had two options. One is either to go out and look for professional candidates, and the other was to put the proposition to Sari. And when we looked at his track record, his commitment, his knowledge and the experience that he has both in the country, with the people and the business, the decision was very clear from my point of view and the board's point of view. And then it was up to Sari to accept the challenge, and I'm very happy that he did.
I first and foremost need to prove myself every day. I still have that mindset, but really I started from the ground up. I rode on the sales trucks, I visited all the customers, I went to the regions, I worked in manufacturing, I worked in marketing, I worked in distribution. So I've done every single thing of the business from the ground up.
Well, we have a family council, but that council is also made up of members of the board of the business today. So at that family council, we are able to talk to each other freely. The plan is to have the board open so that in future, if there are very, very special people who we can make members of the board, they get there. But then they don't belong to the family council. So the family council is where somebody can talk about what one person did that he or she does not like, or what should be done or shouldn't be done. So that is where we openly communicate, where we dot I's and cross T's and carefully carry decisions there to Debbie, who will now do daily implementation, working with her first grade management team.
Each generation is very different but very important. The strength of one generation aids the weakness of another generation, so to say. So it's so important that everyone feels heard, because the business does better when there's better collaboration between both generations. The beauty of family businesses and why the ones that have done it well are so successful is because what everyone brings to the table is so important for the next level.
Entrepreneurial families, we can use acts. Well, I would talk from the part of luxury, because I deal in vintage fabrics, We use it to preserve stories, the emotional attachment, the memories, You preserve legacy by, when you invest in good quality. Because it's not just about, for instance, our SAS textiles, when we buy a fabric, it's not just about the fabric, it's what the fabric tells, when you're attached to it, the memories behind the fabric, what you want to use the fabric for, because most times when you get these are fabrics that are for special events. So generations after generations will see the pictures. So for me, you preserve legacy through the memories, through the emotional attachment, and of course, you can pass it on from generation to generation. I believe so much in buying what you like, because when I go to buy fabrics, when I shop for my clients, because I see myself as a global sourcing textile person. I don't buy from the perspective of I buy what, because when you buy what you can sell it effectively, and you're able to pass it down, you're able to preserve that legacy, you're also able to, it's not about my taste right now. You have to balance that. It's not just about my taste, it's about thinking about the end user. It's about thinking about the diversity and also making sure people are included. So when people come to me and they want to buy fabrics, first of all, I have to know, what do you want? What do you like? What do you want to pass on? What stories, what memories are you trying to evoke? So I believe in buying watcher, but also seeing it from a global perspective.
to answer your questions about staying relevant, I think family offices should, or even family members, should think about global connectivity, should emphasize on it, should go beyond the continent, go across to different other places to meet other families, because we are one world today.
So this is actually very interesting because we act like, I mean, storytelling, I mean, something different out of, like, let's say, the ordinary. It's kind of what we do every day. It's plays a huge role in how we perceive people, how we perceive things, how we act towards things. So it's as good as communicating the person's brand. What do they how do you communicate? What are you trying to communicate? What are the objectives that you're trying to get out of this communication? So that's pretty much what storytelling is. But then putting it in like business, so it's all the same thing, but now in a broader sector, right? Because if you're doing it to your friends and family, but on the broader sector, you need to know how the people want to, how you want people to see you, how you want people to perceive you, and how you want people to accept whatever you are passing across or trying to communicate. So I would just like the presentation that I had earlier, I would say that it's just really bring it down to like some core things like being original with your story, being consistent, driving impacts through whatever they're doing, and also just paying attention, evolving, learning, relearning, and unlearning some things. Clear communications always, not waiting for like a big campaign before you communicate, always making sure that in everything that you do, your story, people can tell more about your brand from every little thing that you do, down to your employees, down to team members, down to like external stakeholders.
Growing up, right? The first set of Nigerian industrialists, right? How many of them do we hear about today? Where you're probably growing up, you heard of names everywhere in the world, north, south, east, west, right? Those names are no more. Those companies of business in every sector, manufacturing, agri, industry, all of them. And just one simple problem. In this part of the world, we've sort of always done business as a one-man business or sole proprietorship, while one man does everything, manages everything, makes all decisions and everything. And the answer is very simple. It's simple. You create structures. That's it. Structure. It's all about the structure. It's all about structure. So first things first. Whether the proprietor, the or the family decides, there has to be clear succession plans. There has to be mentorship and grooming, growing the next line of successors in some parts of the world as early as the teens and late 20s. They already know what's going to take over. It doesn't always have to be the first child or first boy or what have you. It just has to be who they feel is best qualified, has the attribute. At times, you have a case the where the proprietor or whoever, or the second generation jumps even his immediate family and goes to a nephew or niece or something like that. And they brought up of being a man or woman doesn't matter. It could be a man, it could be a woman. So it's about the structures, about the systems. Then having a board also, having a board puts accountability and checks and things like that in there. You talk about the family office, and family offices come up very much nice. It's important, and everybody, even with the family office, the structures of it are important. You talk about trust. For example, one that I've read about recently is about the Corona schools. How the founder created the trust, and trust is working now. That's why you see Corona schools are even growing faster than when the proprietor was around. They investing everywhere, and he's set up the trust in a way to protect the schools and legacy. So these are just some of the factors, but I think at the end of the day, also these are the key points: trust, the people people they set they speak in the next line of a succession plan, having a succession plan, picking them properly and grooming them. Yeah, it's just some of that.